Hi, good to see you today.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So today I've asked you, oh, you've clicked off and I'm not sure. Oh, there you
No,
are.
I'm good.
Okay. So I've asked you to give a little bit of feedback because here we are coaching together. And I always like to give new people a perspective of what it's like to coach with me and how we've done and what we've done. So let me just give you a moment to first introduce yourself and please include your title.
And my name is Djouma B, and I'm a Senior Group Vice President.
That's fantastic. And how long have we been working together?
We've been working together for about 6 months, I would say.
6 months. And
Yeah.
then how big is your role? Is it international, national? What's the budget item or budget line you manage? Just give us some details for anybody else listening out there.
Yeah, so I cover 5 states and I have a little over $3 billion in sales and lead a team of about 10,000 team members and have 6 direct reports and 4 directors that have dotted line.
And you said 3 billion with a B, correct?
Yep.
I
Three
love that
billion.
number. It's so big. I love that number. And then
Yep.
are all of your direct reports this same nationality, or are they all over from different nationalities?
Yeah, they're from different nationalities, and we live in different states for the most part. I have a couple of them that live in the same state that I do, but for the most part, we live in different states.
That's wonderful. Good. Okay. So if you wouldn't mind, just tell us what brought you to coaching in the first place.
Yeah, so I recently switched territory, not necessarily title. Then this is a territory where we had a lot of, the culture's been the same for over 15 years, and both the person who I'm replacing really started this group. So I knew there were going to be a lot of changes, and I wanted to have someone to outside of the company to really talk to about some of the challenges that I was going through. So I did interview few people for this job, but I think I decided to work with you because from the beginning, your thought process was really different than mine. And I always like to talk to people that think differently so I can add value in what I'm doing.
I love it. Good. Okay. So give us a little sense about what the coaching has looked like between you and I.
Yep. So we really have worked together where, I mean, the coachings haven't been, I like the fact that we haven't been very structured. We took the conversation to where it needed, and it went day by day, really. I've shared some challenges that I'm going through, and you've shared different perspective and kind of really once helped me validate the level of talent that I had. And I think one thing that I really like about you told me that you really couldn't help me in certain areas because I didn't need anybody to help me there. You told me where you can insert yourself. So I think you've really helped me, not just with work, but how do I look at outside? And for me, it was really how do I slow down, be more, work less, be more impactful, and really also thinking about people that are in my life. How do I make sure that I continue to connect with those people and have a better balance? And I think that really has helped me out tremendously.
Yeah, because one of the things we were working with you, Djouma, is that, and I think a lot of other leaders can resonate with this, is that, if you really are great and competent about what you're doing, then what do you work on? And does that mean there are things to work on? And so we ended up saying, okay, let's not focus on what you're already doing so well. Let's focus on some other pieces to expand who you are as a person and your character and the people around you that you make a difference with.
Yeah, yeah.
So what are some
And,
of the topics, if you don't mind me asking, what are some of the topics that we worked on, just in case people are going, well, I don't really get what the coaching does? Like, what topics did we talk about?
I think probably the thing, the day that I really enjoyed the most is, you probably don't remember this, when you told me that the way I was thinking is screwed up. I think that was
Was.
probably the day that I enjoy the most, because you said, although you think of it this way, most people don't. So if most people don't think the same way you do, then yours isn't, you know what I mean? Isn't probably, you got to think about how do you impact other people. And I think some of the things that I was picking up really from at home, because I was working so much, I'm not even realizing it. I was starting to pick up some things my daughter was doing, and you really helped me connect that. For example, she was trying to tell me like she liked to work, and she really started falling in love with my laptop. It was like her toy. And then my phone started becoming her toy. And you were really able to share certain things that happened with you and some similarity that you saw, and how do I change that? And that really kind of automatically hit me, and you helped me really work through that. And I'll tell you, some of the relationship that I have with my daughter has grown tremendously. My wife have noticing the difference, and even here at work, some of the efficiencies that I've done, because I was repeating the same thing with every single leader. I mean, you've kind of helped me think about how do I do it once versus doing it 6 times. And I think that has given me a lot of time back. And I remember when we talked about, and you told me, what's the percentage of time you do this? And I said, about 70%. And you told me, well, how do you cut that down to in half? And I was thinking at first, that's not possible. I can't cut that down in half. But I wasn't thinking I could do it once versus doing it 6 times. So I think you really just helped me, because you don't, and again, I think one of the power about it is because you don't do what I do. So you're able to see it totally different than how I was seeing. Yep.
Absolutely. Great example. I love that. Yes. And your daughter gets more of your attention now, which I love. It's wonderful.
Yep, she definitely does.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. So we started, actually, it was a business coaching agreement.
Yep.
And that's how we met, and that's how we engaged. And then as normal, it's who is the whole person of you, and how do we work with all of you so that you're really showing up and creating impact in all of your life.
Definitely. And that's exactly what happened here is the relationship at home, at work, giving me a lot more free time. And quite frankly, it's helped me even teach other people that directly report to me how their time can be shortened, and they can enjoy the things that they enjoy doing even more. So I think that's been one of the biggest impacts.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so where are you now as a result of the coaching? We're not done. We still have a couple hours left, a couple months. But I just want to give the listeners a sense of like, where have you grown to?
Yep. So I'll tell you, things that used to get me, you taught me not to always feel the need to have control. And I think wanting to always have control used to get me to these places where I wasn't necessarily the calmest person. Now, sometimes I just let stuff take course, and I'm not in those places anymore where I'm always feeling like I'm losing control, because if I never even thought about having control, then I'm not feeling like I'm losing control. So I think that has helped me tremendously. And I think on the business aspect of our coaching, really that's where it's been. And also I've had some personnel challenges here that, I let go, focus on the things that I could control that have taken care of themselves. And I've moved on from that. And I think really, and then it put me in a better place during those challenging times. And I think that not always feeling like you have to have control and everything isn't on a timeline, you know what I mean? So including my career isn't on a timeline. I think that has helped tremendously.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you're a different leader, you're a better leader, and the fact that you're not trying to control everything. And because you're doing that, you're more relaxed, you're more present.
Yep.
And then the things around you are going more right, I should say, because you're not involved in all of it. And you feel better, and you're around your daughter more with your wife.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So I always get this question, and this is just one little extra question, Djouma, and if you could answer it. People are always saying, well, you can't be my coach because you haven't been a VP of this large organization like I have. And so would you help people understand that may not have had coaching before or understand what a coach does? From our experience, would you help people understand what it is we do together?
Yeah, and I think honestly, you don't want somebody who has done the same thing you're doing to coach you, because that defeats the purpose. And I think because they're never gonna take you to places you haven't taken yourself yet. I think somebody who can ask you the right questions. And I think sometimes when I first studied this with you, you said this is not magic. This is not a remedy. I'm not gonna give you a fix to fix everything. You know what I mean? So somebody who hasn't done what you've done make you work harder. Because there was time when I was frustrated. Like I'm like, I don't know if she's getting what I'm trying to tell her. You know what I mean? But I think that's what really, I'm like you don't understand. Like this thing has to get done. This thing has to move. I think because you had no idea what I was talking about, forced me to think about what I'm telling you, and it forced me to think about other places that I never really thought about before. Because I've never thought about sitting, and if I was talking to somebody, nobody does this as of my peers. They don't have a weekly video conference. Like for me, I didn't even like bi-weekly calls. I'm like, that's a waste of time. But now I'm doing that because of you never done it, and I did it, and I shared it with some of my senior leaders. They were like, wow, good for you. Because I mean, that's something we never do, but I'm doing that. So I think having a coach, quite frankly, when I interview for these jobs, for somebody to coach me, the coaches that I interviewed that said, oh, I know your boss, I coached him on this. Or I know somebody that did this, I coached them on this. I didn't give them this job because I'm like, I don't want to repeat that. I want something totally different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, wonderfully said. Exactly. Wonderful. Good. So it's not really necessary for me to be a subject matter expert in the role that you're in to be a good coach or to help you get to greater potential or bigger success, because I haven't been in your role. So we get to think about it together. We get to throw around different ideas.
Yep. We get to think about it together and different ideas. And most importantly, I'm forced to explain things to you differently. So that automatically put me in a different thinking mindset, because everybody that's around me know exactly what I'm telling them about. I don't have to force myself to think about how do I explain this differently to them. It's like speaking a second language. It's like you use different words that probably native speakers don't use. You know, because that's how you express yourself. So I think it forces you to think a little bit differently. So,
yeah. Good. Wonderful. Well, this has been a fantastic experience. Anything else that you want to say or share that I haven't asked?
No, I just think, again, the thing that I like about you is you didn't always agree with me. And even when I was frustrated, you know what I mean? So you kept pushing, you kept looking at it differently, and you told me, hey, I disagree with you. That's completely, and a lot of time I don't live in those environments where people tell me I disagree with you. I haven't heard of that. Or say the way I think is screwed up. I don't think I've probably haven't heard that for 10 years now. You know, hearing that kind of makes me like, well, maybe this is screwed up, right? So,
yeah, I'm not going to suck up with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. It's been really a great engagement. I'm so glad to know you. Thank you for this feedback. I really appreciate it. And I hope that anybody that's listening, this helps you decide whether I'm a good fit for you or not. Either way, I know that, interviewing several coaches, you'll get a sense of who's right for you. And so if this is calling to your heart, I would love to talk to you. So thank you, Djouma, for being here. And I'm going to let this one go. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.